Hello everyone, Leaners here. I told you I would be transparent, that I would share with you my failures and my successes. And here is a failure right here. So I got sick end of September with, the virus going around. And I didn't come in here for like 5 days. See this poor plant? It's just barely there. Poor little guy. And they're on a soil that I never gave them more than a sip at a time. And they were so dry when I came in that they wouldn't even take a sip of water. So I had to soak them. And because I had used fine perlite, which just happened to be that day when I was potting them up when I got them. So they got that soil when I potted them up. But I was out of the chunkier, coarser perlite, so I happened to have some fine. And I thought, well, they're babies, they'll be fine in it. No, the fine perlite tends to make the soil heavier when you water it. So I soaked them and drained them. I didn't leave them sitting in the water. And 2 days later, I came back in to just kind of relax. I was starting to get over my flu bug. Whatever I had, the vid, who knows. And I picked up that plant, and its leaves were so rotted, they just fell off. Literally fell to the shelf as I lifted the plant. So then I'm in panic mode, and I didn't even put a wick on them. As quick as I could, I just dumped them all and put them in chunkier soil, which I had already mixed up because I was in the process of putting plants on wick because I'd been sick and realized how important it was to have them with a wick in case I ever got sick. And by the way, I'm okay. Don't have any pity for me. I mean, I got a bug. Wow, I'll live. I appreciate well wishes, but there's people going through a lot harder stuff in this country right now, like hurricanes, and I'm living in paradise. So, and I appreciate everyone who watches this channel because none of this would be possible without you guys. So I was already transitioning plants to wick. Sick or not, I was just slowly doing it. See, I got all my pots. I still got a long ways to go. I've gotten 36 of them on wick so far, and I'm going to do a video on my experiences because I had some issues. Crisis has been averted, but I want to share what I learned from this process, switching them to wick. But I had a crisis with these guys. So luckily I had the soil already mixed up. So it was just a matter of putting a bucket there, dumping their dirt, pulling out all the rotten wicks, and we got 40 plants here, including down here, and I got a couple here and there. 40 babies. I know, it's crazy. I shouldn't have bought so many babies at once. The ones that were a little bigger didn't have such a problem, so you see they've got more leaves and they're doing okay. But the younger ones lost leaves, they lost roots, they had to go into cloches. They're all recovering. Some of them are even trying to bloom now. So you could see most of them are doing great. Look at that pretty flower. Oh, that's its first flower. So most of them are doing great, including my little stinker, But it was quite terrifying for a moment. I almost lost 40 plants that quick. And I didn't get a wick in them because I didn't have time to deal with that. I mean, I just was dumping soil, and I had to take and remove half their roots because they were so rotten. And then I had to soak them in hydrogen peroxide mixture and clean them up. And then they had to go into cloches. The ones that had very few roots left had to go into cloches. And it's been about, 10 days now. And they've grown new roots because I have clear plastic little containers that they're in. So I can see that they've grown new roots. They're doing great. The cloches will probably be off in another week. But that was pretty scary. And that experience taught me why I should be wick watering. Because even if the reservoirs didn't keep it going as long as I needed to recover, and you see I got all these, they're doing great. Everybody's doing great on the wick. The wick with that reservoir would have enabled my husband to be able to water the plants for me. And I found I go longer between the watering. The watering takes 1/10 of the time to do with a reservoir. The plants are just, their colors increase. They're just telling me they're so much happier. These guys are getting done today. And some of these plants are huge. And I'm gonna, they're all their flowers are plucked. They want a flower, but I'm not letting them. Look how big that leaf is. These things are just, they're huge. They're happy, beautiful plants. But they're going to a wick. They're going to be pruned down, and I may do a partial decap on any of them, like this one that's got a tall neck. Its neck is just way too long. But a lot of you were kindly advising me, and by the way, I appreciate all your comments. And I love it when you give me advice, because that's how I'm learning on this journey. I'm not going to turn a blind eye to any advice that any of you have to give me. I value you. And I should have listened. I should have listened a long time ago. That wick was the way to go. You just have to remember to top water once a month to leach them so they don't get a buildup of fertilizer salts. And then make sure that they're getting their micronutrients at the same time. So I am using an epithite fertilizer, non-urea nitrogen. And they really perked up when I took them off the urea nitrogen and went to an epithite fertilizer. You know, it's got all the micronutrients, the minerals. And I'm using the well water now. But anyway, yeah. Being hard-headed, not having them on a wick, I almost lost 40 babies. Lesson learned. I have learned. I've learned. I can't say it enough. And I will probably listen more next time you guys try to tell me that I'm doing something wrong. So anyway, all of you have a lovely day. And thank you so much again from the bottom of my heart for watching my videos.